Hey, what's up, what's up? So in today's video, I'll answer all your questions about how I paid back my student loans. So you know that a couple of months ago, I shared that I paid back $100,000 in student loans. That was how I funded grad school, and I shared that story with you, that journey about how I paid. And a lot of you had questions, and so this is the first time I'm picking up those questions and answering them. So let's jump right into today's video. It should be fun, a lot of gist. So let's get right into it. So if you've not seen the previous video I did where I shared about how I paid $100K in student loans, I'll drop the link in the description, and so check that out after watching this one. And so the first question is, did I pay back immediately or after graduation? And I'm guessing what this person means is, did I pay back like while I was in school? No, I didn't pay back while I was in school. I paid, I kind of paid while I was in school. So it's a funny story. But anyway, I got the loans, and so every semester the loan provider sends part of like some cash to my school, and then that was how I got through like grad school. And so but from day one, like from the first day the loan provider sent cash to the school, I started incurring interest. So it wasn't interest free while I was in school. No, I was incurring interest from day one. But towards graduation, I think a couple of months, like 6 months before graduation, or like 5 months before graduation, I got a job and I got a sign-on bonus. If you watch that video, you hear me talk about my sign-on bonus and my bonuses and how those lump sums helped me to pay down my debt. So 5 months before graduation, I got that job and I got a sign-on bonus. And so that was the first time, I think, that I paid back my part of my student loan. So I got this really, to me, it was really good. It was really good money at the time. I didn't have that, okay? I was broke. And so I got this sign-on bonus at the time, and then I just paid it to the loan provider. For those of you that are curious, at the time, I think I got a 30K sign-on bonus, but after tax, because I was working in New York and all of that, I got maybe 60% of that, and so I just paid that to the loan provider. So yes, technically I paid while I was in school, but that was like, a couple of months before graduation, and then I paid most of it after I graduated. So that's kind of how I paid. Okay, so another question is, this person is saying, it's pretty long. The key thing is that I got a job, and the big question the person is asking is, is the financial burden and the whole immigration status thing and the burden of being an international student, is it worth it after all? So what this person is really asking is, the burden of being an international student and having to deal with immigration issues and visa issues, which I dealt with. If you haven't seen my H-1B visa story, and that's my work visa challenges that I had, I'll put the link to the video in the description as well. So I was denied multiple times. I never got a work visa. That's the truth. And that was a challenge for me. So this person is asking, this whole paying back student loans and also being an international student with struggles of having to deal with visa and immigration situations, at the end of the day, is it worth it? I think so. My answer is, it is worth it for me, based off of what I want to achieve, what I was optimizing for at the time. But I don't think, if I were to redo things, maybe I'll do some things slightly differently, because it is hard to pay back loans. Okay, it is really hard to pay back loans. Especially with the current interest rates climate we have right now, in interest rate terrain, the current interest rates, basically, it is hard. It's going to be hard to pay back loans. That's just the point. And so I think it was worth it. I think it's hard, and that's why I'm doing this video, and I did the previous video about paying back student loans. I want people to know the reality of paying back. It is hard. If there's anything you've gotten from this, my loan journey, loan paying back videos, it is that paying back student loans as an international student is hard. There's so many things you're thinking about. Will I get a work visa? Will I become a permanent resident? How can I become a citizen? What if I get sacked from this job? You know, if you get sacked from your job as an international student, like someone that is on a work visa, many times you lose your visa status and all of that. So there's so much you're thinking about. And then you also have this $100,000 student loans, and getting a job as an international student in, you know, at least in the US is hard. There's a lot you're dealing with. So I'll say it's hard, but for me, it's worth it. You know, I wanted a change. I feel it's been good so far. No complaints. Now that I look back, I'm like, it's worth it. That time, 2019, all of that, it was a rough year for me. I'm not even going to lie. It was a really rough year for me. It was hard going through all of this and then having to pay back loans. So I'll say it's hard, and I want you guys to have to know that that's at least my reality of like having a lot of loans and paying back. It is hard. Prepare your mind. But if you are determined that you want to pay down your loans as quickly as possible, or yeah, you can get through this system. That's just what I'll say. But I think it's worth it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Maybe you guys think differently. So another question someone asks is, how do you request the university to pay your living expenses since the loan company like sends the cash to the school? So yes, for me, the loan provider sends the cash every semester to the school. So let's use examples here. So let's say my tuition for that semester were $20,000, and I requested for that semester I got a loan of maybe $35,000. The loan provider sends the entire $35,000 to the school. The school will take out their $20,000 for tuition and fees that I'm owing, and then the balance $15,000. They will tell me, hey, you have a balance of $15,000. What do you want us to do? And then I'll tell them to send it to my account, and they will do that. And that's how that went every single semester. So that's how it works. The provider sends it to the school, and the school sends it to you, and you can decide what you want to do with the money. And I'm guessing that's what you now use for your living expenses. So that's kind of how it works for me. And so the next question is, how did I manage to pay back the interest during the program? I did not pay back the interest during the program. It kept accumulating. I've said it multiple times. I was a broke student, broke, like really broke. Okay, so I didn't have any money to pay back any interest. It was just accumulating, and I was thinking about my life. What am I going to do after graduation without a job and everything? But like things changed, and I'm grateful, very, very grateful that, you know, things changed. I got a job. But I did not pay my interest while I was in school. I started paying close to graduation, like a couple of months before graduation. So that's kind of how it worked for me. Okay, so someone is asking what how much was the sign-on bonus. I've talked about that. I got 30,000 before tax, but after tax, I got maybe 17K or 16K. Don't ask me how they did the calculation of the taxes, okay? I don't know what was happening, but that's how much I got. And so I just transferred it to the loan provider. This person is asking, what consulting firm did I work? Where did I work at the time? So I shared in that video, that first video where I shared about my journey to paying back. I shared that I worked in consulting. So I worked, at the time I created that video, I worked in management consulting, and I worked in one of the top 3 management consulting firms in the world. Okay, so I worked in like one of the big management consulting firms, and so yeah, I think they were a huge part of my journey, a huge part of like paying back. Without them, I don't know how I would have paid back, okay, because I was broke, you know. So that's where I worked. Yeah, I'm not sure. The person is also asking what's the name of the company. If you just Google top 3 management consulting firms in the world, I worked with one of those 3. So yeah, that's it. I'm not sure I'm allowed to share their names. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. So the video is not too long, but if you have other questions about how I paid back student loans and you just want to know like what are your chances, is it worth it and stuff like that, just ask me specific questions in the comments, and I'll get to your questions and answer them. But if you like all the videos and you like this specific one, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me. And keep asking questions in the comments. I'll get to them, I'll answer all your questions. And yeah, if you like all these videos I've been putting out and you want to join the family, please click the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.